going on, people? Myke C-Town here. This is gonna be a slightly different kind of video, man. This is gonna be for people that may actually give half a shit about what I do outside of, you know, reviewing albums or talking about records. I'm gonna make a kind of short video about my trip to LA, things I saw, things I witnessed, things I did. So, my reason for going. I recently found out that two of my favorite hardcore bands, Unbroken and Mean Season, were doing a reunion show, along with Strife. And without a second thought, I started looking up flights. One of my best friends, Alex, lives out there, so I knew I'd at least have a free place to stay. And plus, I'd been out to LA quite a few times, but I never really got to see much of the city for whatever reason. So this time, I wanted to visit places that were touristy and all that kind of shit. So those of you that follow me on Twitter, you know that I'm definitely afraid of flying. I don't like being on planes at all. I especially don't like long plane rides. My flight there wasn't bad, but I'm always super nervous about, you know, the initial takeoff. Nothing about flying annoys me more than when a pilot does shit other than pilot the goddamn plane. Just be your ass in the cockpit, being in the cockpit, flying the plane from the goddamn cockpit. Instead, we get this asshole.
So this is our last flight at Air Train. It has been a great ride. We really enjoyed everybody, and we'll see you on the other side. Special shout out to my wife, Tracy. She's accompanied me on my last flight. Once again, welcome aboard.
Look, dude, nobody wants to hear that shit. Just get me to my goddamn destination in one piece, alright? Since my flight was 4 hours long, I figured I'd download a movie to watch because that would make the time go by quicker. So I downloaded Fault in Our Stars. Great movie, but I'll say this. Do not watch this movie in public. People have told me that, oh man, it's gonna make you cry. But dude, I don't cry in movies. Like, ever. But this film, 30 minutes in, I'm crying like a teething child, man. And by the end of it, it was a wrap. I'm for real, like, man, I don't even know what the point of that movie was. Like, why would you make that? Like, just to make the entire world feel like shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed to watch some Scooby-Doo or some shit after that just to make myself feel a little bit better about life. So since I landed late that Thursday, I didn't really do too much that night. You know, Alex picked me up, took me back to his place so I could just crash. The next day, he had to work, so I got to do shit all on my own. First things first, I went to the amazing Amoeba Records. Last time I was there, I spent about 3 hours there. This time, same thing, man. Actually, I think I might have gone a little bit over 3 hours. What did I buy there, you're wondering? Well, Amoeba has this great series where they interview celebrities about the items they buy in the store. It's called What's in My Bag. Well, stay tuned to the channel for a very special episode of this series starring yours truly. After hours and hundreds of dollars at Amoeba, I went and got lunch with my big sister, which was pretty awesome. Following that, I checked out this place called Psychiatry, a Museum of Death. Talk about a fucking wacky place, man. This was a museum based around showing you how fucked up the psychiatry industry is and has been. It was a pretty interesting place with some kind of weird visuals. Not real sure what to make about the place, but I definitely say it's worth checking out if you're in LA. So being in LA on Halloween was really odd because the people there are a bit crazy. So a lot of times I couldn't tell if people were actually like dressed up in costumes or just dressed like assholes just on like GP. You know what I mean? Like, but either way, it was pretty interesting and entertaining people watching.
Straight this way?
2 lights.
Cool. Appreciate you, man.
You ain't trying to buy no turtle?
A turtle?
Yeah.
Nah.
Only $25. I got the food.
Oh, shit. Nah, I'm good.
That night, being Halloween night, we were lucky enough to attend a sold-out King Diamond show at the Wiltern. Let me tell you, it was amazing. I recently did a review of the King Diamond show in Atlanta and talked about how great it was, but this one was so much better. The band sounded better, and his voice especially sounded absolutely incredible. And they even played the one song I was dying to hear in Atlanta. The next day was great. Alex took me all over the city, showed me some of the beautiful parts of LA. He took me on a really cool trip up the mountains. How romantic, right? We even got cut off by Moby, but I was too slow with the phone camera thing there. Plus, I mean, I'm not even really sure anyone besides me would even care about seeing Moby, and I'm not even sure how much I cared about seeing Moby, but hey, we definitely saw Moby. He took me to this place called the Griffith Observatory.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Los Angeles, the world's ending. Uranus.
He also took me to this weird place that was like an old Asian hotel or something, but it also had an Asian garden outside with a koi pond and all kinds of like Buddhist statues and stuff. It was pretty interesting. That night, Alex had to work a show. It was Blackbelt Brides and Fallen in Reverse. I'd never heard either band before, but I'd seen pictures of Blackbelt Brides. Knew it wasn't going to be my thing at all. But I went and listened to a few tracks and was instantly sick to my stomach knowing that I'd have to actually watch this band play. I then listened to Falling in Reverse, and to my dismay, they were even worse than Blackbelt Brides. This fuck-ass actually raps, and people like this shit. Like what? So we got to the show, and I was lucky enough to be brought back into the office area backstage where they had bottles upon bottles of alcohol. So I made myself the biggest whiskey and ginger I'd ever made and proceeded to get drunk. I drank through Falling in Reverse, didn't have to see a single bit of that. But I did have to watch Blackbelt Brides, and my God, they were terrible. The thing is, they're good musicians, they just write really shitty songs, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be mean, I guess I get why people like them, they're kind of catchy and all that, but their music is just not for me. They even did a horrendous cover of Rebel Yell, which left me praying that Billy Idol would just show up on stage and kick the shit out of the singer, and maybe the entire band. They also covered Mother, which was so bad I couldn't subject my phone to record any of it. After that, completely drained of all things sanity related, we went home and crashed. Sunday was the main day of my trip, the day of Unbroken and Mean season. During the day, we didn't do a whole lot. Alex took me to another record store. We hit up some place that had vegan deep dish pizza. We also went to this place called the Museum of Death. It was pretty interesting. Basically just a lot of visuals revolving around death. They had the jacket that Gigi Allen wore when he died. They had the cabinet that Roz Williams hung himself from. They had a bunch of stuff from the John Wayne Gacy murders, the Traces of Death video, the Heaven's Gate recruiting video. It was a morbid place, but it was still pretty damn cool. So another place I would suggest you check out if you're ever in the LA area and you are a dark and weird person like myself. Then we hit the show and got the 90s revival started, man. We missed Zabalba, but got there as Mean Season started playing like their 4th song. At this point, I don't even remember why we were late. Mean Season was pretty fucking awesome, man. A ton of energy, and the crowd seemed to really enjoy them. I'm not sure why I didn't get any video of them, but, you know, oh wells. I think I was just too stoked to be watching them and singing along like a little kid. Strife was up next, and god damn, they killed. They had a ton of energy and seemed to be like super into it, man. Plenty of moshing, you know, crowd sing-alongs, all around just a great performance. Next up was Trial. I've never been a big fan of Trial, so I didn't watch him. I just came back inside when I heard that Unbroken was about to play. Seriously, this show couldn't have been better, man. They sounded absolutely incredible. They played every song I wanted to hear. They had a ton of energy. They sounded absolutely man, they sounded absolutely incredible, man. The visuals in the back were definitely a nice touch. The tribute to Eric Allen, their old guitarist who committed suicide, was also very touching. But man, yeah, overall I say that show was definitely worth flying out to LA for. The bands definitely took me back to the mid-90s in a super positive way, man. It was especially enjoyable for me to be able to finally see Unbroken and Mean Season, man. Something I'd wanted to do for the past 20 years. So my flight back was a bit rough, man. On my left, I had some guy eating French fries, and on my right, I had a guy who had clearly shit himself within the last hour or so. Our whole section smelled like a huge McDonald's turd. It was fucking disgusting. To die by your side is such a horrible way to die. But I landed just fine, got the fuck off the plane, then headed back to my car, at which time I headed straight to the Masquerade so I could catch Mineral Play. Dude, King Diamond on Friday, Unbroken, Mean Season, and Strife on Sunday, Mineral on Monday. The 90s were so much fun that weekend, man. So that's really it. Hope you guys kind of sort of enjoyed that. Like I said before, stay tuned for my episode of What's in Your Bag at Amoeba Records. And yeah, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. And I will see you wonderful, beautiful people next time. Alright? Peace, bitches.